what she is suffering and she has lived with this man is, and the problems that she has is for 5 years and 10 years and
Correct.
3 years and whatever time that she has spent with him.
Of course.
So you are seeing them only for 24 hours and you are judging her that she
Based
is
on
not
those
good.
actions,
And yeah, I think that just made me happy. I was like, काश मेरी जिंदगी भी ऐसी होती यार.
Of course,
But
of course.
I've had only two best friends all my life, my mother and my husband. During Zindaginaama, I genuinely could
Yeah,
feel
exactly.
the hurt and
The
the
hurt
pain
and
and the
pain.
loss and the trauma that because I was very, very, very close to my mother. Hi, this is Priya Bapat and you are watching me on IWMBuzz.
Hi everyone, this is Kunal Kothari. You're watching me on IWMBuzz, and the person I'm sitting with right now, I already have a funny story, and I sort of teased her with it just a while ago. But the funny thing is that just a month ago, I met her. We did an interview in a different setup. But in that interview, one of my questions to her was that where have you been? Why haven't you done Hindi, projects for the longest time? And that time she casually told me, "Kya re, abhi to dekhna kitna aega." And little did I know that she wasn't kidding. 1 month later, we have 3 to 4 projects, and she's just everywhere, and none of us are complaining. I'm talking about Priya Bapat. Hi.
I am so flattered by this introduction. I am loving this. You are saying everything that I really want to come and say on this interview. That yes, I thank you. Thank you for this lovely
Absolutely.
introduction. I really love it.
I'll just start off in the most non-work note possible, okay? Because whenever I have the time to sit with actors, I love to. Everybody loves to know about them, right? But a different side to them. So what I've noticed and I've researched in throughout what you've talked about stuff, you mentioned that you have this knack for photography, and you were actually, and I even remember this interview a bit that I saw that Instagram पे सब आए तो actually उसके लिए थे, but वो अभी दूसरी चीजें हो गई है वहाँ पे.
Seriously, yeah.
So what I want to know is you mentioned that you love photography, wildlife photography specifically. What is it that attracts you the most about that thing, and do you like do it as well कि करते हो कि मैं जाती हूँ और मैं capture कर लेती हूँ and you have these some amazing photographs with you?
So I think my camera is missing me a lot. My camera is still in my wardrobe, like kept
Okay.
very nicely. And I have two cameras. One is a DSLR, which I bought much later after I finished my graduation. But when I was studying photography, I did my graduation in economics,
Right.
and then I did my post graduation in mass media, where I got to learn like everything from journalism to filmmaking to editing to
Awesome.
photography to everything. So when I did that, I had that Nikon FM10.
Okay.
It's a manual camera on
Yes.
which you actually learn. I was so fascinated by that entire process of how light falls, what is the aperture, what is the shutter speed, how you can, by just adjusting those little things, how do you manage the amount of light you will allow to let in, and how that changes the impact on
Absolutely.
the image that you
Yeah,
get finally. Oh my god, it was so fascinating. And I think as an actor, I am a great observer, and that really helps me with photography too.
Right.
Just capturing moments. I remember when I was in college, the photograph that I had clicked during my college photography tour got a Time Out magazine award of a best photograph that time.
Awesome.
Like from the college, we have a competition in college.
Internal college
internal college
competition.
competition. So, and that photograph was taken in Hampi, where there's this monkey temple.
Okay.
It's called a monkey temple, and on that temple there's this like a pole in the middle of the between the rocks.
Right.
And on that pole there were 4 monkeys fighting. One on the top, one on the bottom, one on the right, one on the left, and everyone had the tail in each other's hand.
Oh,
it's such a beautiful picture. Perfect timing. I just got it.
Yeah.
And I mean, these moments I was so engrossed in observing their fights and fun or play or whatever they were doing. But I think those things really fascinate me, and I try and keep the same observing personality that I am in my career as well. Yeah, so I don't pursue photography anymore. I miss my camera because now I think with phone and work and everything and you travel, I can't take my big camera with me. I think I should.
Not
but
feasible,
I don't.
But I get it.
But I miss that. So but I do that on my phone though. I like compositions. I understand or maybe I have an eye for it.
Yep.
I haven't worked on it a lot, so maybe the skills are not great, but I still have an eye for a good picture or a good composition where I know that how a foreground, midground, and background creates an impact.
Right.
Like why a frame is set in a certain way, then it creates some, uniqueness in that frame. I love that.
Absolutely. I'm telling you,
Some-
I think this is signals enough for you to probably
To pursue
it
it,
a
no?
little more and put it
I
out
would
there
love
because
to.
because seriously, like that's what I say that the little do you know, tomorrow Priya Bapat photography page is going to start on Instagram.
Wow.
If that happens, I'm sure.
I think it takes a lot of time and
Yeah.
patience and calmness.
True.
And in this industry, when
None
you
of
really
those
have to,
None
when
of
you
those.
have to be out there
Yeah.
all the time.
Correct.
I think it just sometimes your life becomes too anxious. You
Yeah.
are not that calm. But photography really needs, and especially wildlife photography and nature
Yes.
photography really needs a lot of calmness,
and
and patience.
Absolutely, super. And I'll move on to, because again, as I was, talking, like looking at stuff that what do you, again, work, we'll get to it. But what I've found really fascinating and absolutely adorable is, the way you talk about and the kind of relationship you share with your husband. Because it is one of those, sometimes people get like, it's too good to be true. It's one of those
है ना?
situations.
Yeah.
I buy it. I genuinely buy it, that part, because and it's not fake. Like it's not one of those things that you're just saying it for the sake of
Right.
it, right? So my question to you in that context is that the amazing bond you've had since you got married in 2011. It's been over a decade, the both of you together, and amazing. Just get better and better. My question is that lately the work dynamic has changed tremendously for you. You are a lot more out there in terms of promotions, interviews, busy, blah 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 blah. So that is not probably something which was constant earlier. Work was there. Because of these externals, the schedule goes for a toss, things go for a toss. How has the dynamic not changed, but at the same time, adjusted for him as well? Because not that he's a fantastic Marathi actor and he's busy as well,
Yeah.
but you know what I mean.
Yeah,
So
I know.
how has that dynamic changed, or how has that gotten to an agreement where you understand that?
I have to give credit to my husband. I can't take credit for this, and genuinely, I can't. I think he is more understanding. He is more patient, and he's the one who allows things to take its own time. I am not that one.
Correct.
I'm too anxious a person. I want everything fast.
Yeah.
So I think he is the one who brings that therav in my life, and he's always the one who says that it's okay. You you're busy right now, but we'll find time. So I'm somebody who always wants to be busy,
Yeah.
but always wants to be giving time in my personal life too. So I want both the worlds equally, and that doesn't happen. That
Yeah.
never happens.
Absolutely.
So you always have to choose.
Hmm.
But I mean, in all of this, when you know that you have a person who is, I just take him for granted. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just take his existence for granted. I know he's there.
I know he's there. Yeah.
I know he's there and he'll understand. But he also comes across like that. He's very, very, very understanding. And like you said, it's sometimes it feels like too good to be true,
Yeah.
but it is like
It
that.
is
And
like
I have to, say this, especially, and I don't want to go into the darker
Of
side
course,
of it,
yeah,
but
yeah.
when I did Visfot,
Mhm.
I got. I got a lot of flack for the part that
you
I
played,
played.
yeah, I understand why.
And I really feel bad about it because
Mm.
why in our society a woman cannot take a stand if she is not happy in a marriage? Why can't we? I got messages where people said that you are a bitch, if I can say that,
Of
and this
course,
is
yeah.
exactly what people said. So how could you leave your husband like that? And how could you treat Ritesh Deshmukh like that? I'm not treating Ritesh Deshmukh like that. I'm treating the character.
Like that.
And even though you see that the film is only about 24 hours
Yeah,
of that one
story,
particular day, what she is suffering and she has lived with this man is, and the problems that she has is for 5 years and 10 years and
Correct.
3 years and whatever time that she has spent with him.
Of course.
So you are seeing them only for 24 hours and you are judging her that
Based
she is
on
not
those
good
actions, yeah.
on the basis of those actions. In all this also, when I go back home, I have a husband. these are men who are trolling me. These are men who are writing this, and then I have a man at home who tells me to calm down, who tells me not to take this personally, and who is an absolute that perfect side of how a feminist man should be, how a man in today's world should be, how anyone would really would like to have their partner supportive and understanding, and someone who really cares about not only professional but also the personal and the mental health of your partner.
Absolutely.
So it's like I said that I'm so grateful that the only good thing that I did is that I married the right man.
Yeah, you got. In that case, you got lucky.
No, I wasn't lucky. I wasn't lucky at all. I really had to beg for my love. I was behind him like a small little fangirl moment I had when I was, he used to do a lot of television
of course.
At that point of time, and I was like, because he's also 8 years elder to me.
Elder to you, I'm aware.
So I was like a great fan, and I used to watch him like this, like a fangirl. I pursued this relationship. I was like, manifested it and pursued it. Like, मुझे ये लड़का चाहिए.
You had a perfect Bollywood love story kind of thing, na?
But he wasn't behind me. I was the one who said that मैं छोड़ूंगी नहीं, तू शादी कर ले, छोड़ूंगी नहीं.
Awesome, yeah, super. And now, coming to work, because it's fantastic. I think this is the kind of graph bolo, trajectory bolo actors yearn to have right now in terms of the versatility and the range I'm talking about. One, you have Visfot, which we just briefly talked about. Then you have Zindaginaama, completely different ball game altogether. And then you have Raat, Jawan.
Yeah.
The lighter, the much more fun space, right? What has been the learning, throughout these three films, three projects, more to say, and overall that, because I think you've lived these different lives, even though for brief periods, but a lot more frequently than you used to. So what has been the learning for you as an actor, where you have to now switch so fast and still, somehow maintain the authenticity of things?
All these projects honestly took a lot of time. I didn't really have to do those switches very quickly in like a week's time or a day's time. They took their own sweet time. If I really have to tell you the timelines, and Visfot is what we shot in 2021, which got delayed because of COVID and a lot of other reasons, and then it got released finally now. So Raat Jawan was like the fastest release I've ever had, because we shot this in 2024, February, March and April, and in October it's released. So it's the fastest.
Never
does happen. With Zindaginaama also, we did it in 2022 and it came out in 2024. So all these projects have taken their own sweet time. It just I can say that I'm lucky that it just released back to back. But I think I would say that however pretty it looks like as an outsider when you have like three different releases and you feel that what a versatile actor and all of that, it's been there has been a lot of patience and hard work and waiting that has gone into getting these projects or getting myself on board on these projects. So I wouldn't say that it is easy. I think one thing that an actor, or one thing that I have learned in my entire career, and I still learn it every day, is patience. You just have to wait for the right opportunity. Then that right opportunity has to be seen by the right people. It has to be it has to get the critical acclaim by the right critics. People have to like it. Only then you make space for yourself in this industry.
And that's so rare.
And that's rare, as in I think that's not too, it doesn't happen too often.
Correct. Yep.
Everyone needs that one big break, sometimes. Like I always say, that City of Dreams was a huge success.
Absolutely.
People loved it, but it still took time for me to get more work in Hindi after City of Dreams. It took a lot of time for people to believe that I could still pull off, eyeballs, and I could have different audience, and I could be a versatile actor. It takes time. I'm very glad that Zindaginaama happened, because it's a part where I play a Bihari village girl.
Yes.
Then Raat Jawan happened, which is again a very different from what City of Dreams, and in City of Dreams and Visfot, you see a very opinionated
Yeah.
person, which I am.
Yeah.
Like a lot of me is like that.
In real life as well.
I don't shy away from putting forward my opinion, or I don't think twice before that. Sometimes I get that gets backfired, but
That's how it
also
is.
okay.
Yeah.
That's
a
how
part
that's
and
who
parcel,
I
I'm
am.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what I was saying is it takes time. It took lot of time for people to, and I would say that it's still taking time. It's a slow process, but I'm happy that it's steady. So the learning from all these projects is be patient and don't lose hope. There will be that one day where people will just not miss you.
Correct.
They can't miss your talent, and they'll be like, "Ye bandi hai."
Yes, absolutely. I'm telling you because this, and this is again, as I mentioned, this is beyond the control of the actors who are part of the projects.
It
right?
is, yeah, because
Release dates and
one
everything.
can only audition. For me, I mean, for an actor like me, the process is only to audition for that particular part and then wait whether you get. This has happened so that. Oh, this is too funny.
Please.
It's not actually funny. It was very heartbreaking when it happened. But I got a call from a casting company, and they said, "This is the project. This is the director." And वो director की एक film आई थी which was very popular.
Okay.
And I said, "Oh my God, I've seen that film, and I would love to work with that
Of
director.
course,
What is
yeah.
the script?"
Yeah.
I listened to the script. I listened to the part. It was very, very, very exciting. I said, "Let's manage dates, and I want to, be a part of this. Let's figure this out." I said, हाँ okay चलो director के साथ meeting करते हैं. He said, yeah, I'll get back to you. My manager followed up. 2 days later, they called and said that, "Oh, sorry, we called wrong Priya."
Oh.
I said, that can't happen.
Yeah.
How can you call? And how many Priya Bapat are there in the industry?
I
don't know. I don't know how many Priya Bapat are there in the
Bapat
industry.
is it?
Yeah. So, how can you call wrong
Yeah,
Priya,
exactly.
narrate an entire script,
Wow.
ask for dates, and then say that you called the wrong person?
That's
And
not
now
right.
I'm telling you, I met the same director and the producer on a flight.
Oh, wow.
Okay. And they came to
Awkward.
me and they said, "Hi, how are you?" I said, "Sir, I'm very well. How are you? How are you doing? Why did you say no to my film? Yeah. I really wanted you to be a part of it. You said your dates are not matching."
Oh my God.
I said, "But I never said that." Then I showed him the messages.
Yeah.
And I showed him that this is the casting director,
Who
this is
said
the message
this,
that I
that,
got,
that?
this is the process. Now tell me where I went wrong.
Shit.
I don't know why this happened, but this is where I say that the actors like me sometimes miss that opportunity where I could have been a part of that project, and I could have been seen differently,
Yep.
perceived differently, gotten a different part. Not that I haven't gotten enough. I'm happy and I'm
No, of
content with
course.
what I have.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say that this is the end of it. It's just the beginning of my new journey in this Hindi industry. But I don't like this word play. If you don't want to cast me, come and tell
Be
me that you
honest.
don't suit for this character,
Yeah.
and we don't see you as this part. I will not cast you. Fair enough, I'll take that.
Completely.
How am I supposed to deal with this?
Yeah, you can't. As I mentioned,
I mean, this is not an answer that any actor would like,
Exactly.
I just called the wrong
Wrong person. Oh my God. Change your name to Ranchhod Das. I don't know. I mean, I really get that. It's so weird that such things happen. And I've had a couple of actors talk, obviously different instances, but on similar lines that, casting directors sometimes, becomes that person who's sort of taking a call without even having, the approval bolo ya jo bhi bolo.
See, so far, this has happened with only one team. But all the other casting directors I have worked with, it's been a blessing.
Yeah.
It's really been a blessing. And I know that how much they have also taken an effort to kind of re-audition me if they haven't gotten the take right.
Right.
I have done that. I have seen that. So I think it's not about the position.
Yeah.
It is about that one person who is taking that call.
Correct.
I wouldn't call it that all casting directors
Of
are
course,
like that.
Not generalizing.
There are few people in the industry who think in a certain way, and I don't like that.
Correct.
I mean, I always say that you have to, or whatever, maybe the talent, if the producer and the director wanted me, at least I should have gotten a meeting with them.
100%.
Whether they like me as that character
story.
or no, it's a different story. But it's that middle person's job to at least get to me there. Now, you can't have your personal biases in between.
100%.
And if you had any, then you shouldn't have called me in the first
In the
place.
first place, exactly. My God, weird, weird. But yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
coming.
so sorry.
No.
Coming back that I mean, like, however great it looks like, it has
It
been
has.
it has been an enriching experience and a learning experience,
But
and
tough.
I am very happy. But it's not as smooth as it looks like.
Absolutely, absolutely. No, exactly. Especially this is out for people out there who always get, very enamored by the showbiz, but they don't really know what goes beyond and above into it. Super. And another thing, which of course what Zindagi Nama touched upon, and for me, I think funnily, even Raat Jawan hai touches upon it in a very subtle way, is mental health.
Yeah.
Like, I know Zindaginaama was meant to be a mental
Right.
health, anthology. I was fortunate to see it. I was there at the premiere as well. When
For
the
the
episode,
screening?
yeah, I was there. I was there.
Nice.
So I loved both these, even the other one with Project
One
even
Plus.
this one also. So what I'm getting with Raj Jawan hai also, for me, I think even that's a very apt mental health, talking about mental health story, because those the people who are parents, especially in today's times, their mental health and their ways to how tackle situations is rarely talked about, and that too in a subtle and a much more fun way. The question I'm coming to that with is that the kind of subtle treatment that happened with Raj Jawan has amazingly gotten these reviews and everything. When it comes to you, how much of that do you believe really was you yourself, being at that position, being Suman, if I'm not wrong, right? The character name, yeah, being Suman, and because actors always go back and try to have their own experiences coming to their right. But this is such much more relatable, even though you're not a parent per se, but you're still very. You've seen your father, you've seen your mother, and I know, I'm not to touch upon the other topic, but I know that, you've had a loss with your mother in the past, and that's affected you so deeply.
I spoke about that at the
Yeah, I know. I mean, it's several things, right? So I only touch upon that purely for that how much do those aspects come to play when you play a character like this, and the trying to be very subtle and demure with it.
Oof, my mother is a very touchy topic.
Yeah. That's why I'm just
I might
going
just
right
start
at this
crying
way.
right
Yeah.
now
Not
because
at all,
it's
not
like
at all.
for two projects.
Hmm.
I think when I was shooting for the third season of City of Dreams, uh, I think that was right after I shot Zindaginaama. So my mother passed away in January 2022. I shot for Zindaginaama in March.
Okay.
Right
Oh,
after,
okay.
like
Right
the
after
first project
yeah.
that I did
Got
or
on
went on
with it,
floor
yeah.
was Zindaginaama. So during Zindaginaama, Bhavar, I genuinely could
Yeah,
feel the
exactly.
hurt and
The
the
hurt
pain
and
and the
pain.
loss and the trauma that because I was very, very, very close to my mother. So why I'm like
Intersecting them.
intersecting and trying to give you a broader idea, because when I talk about Raat Jawan Hai, I really miss that friendship in my life because my mother was always my best friend.
Yep.
So I have never had friends in my school other than my one or two best friends. Now one, like my best friend now lives in US, so there is a very
Barely a
barely a
contact, yeah.
contact. But I don't remember any friend from college. None of them.
Right.
None. Because I was working and I was just attending lectures. So I really didn't have time to explore the college life that I
Yep.
should have enjoyed. And my mother was a constant in my life till I met my husband,
Of course.
my Umesh. But even then, my life revolved around my mother and my husband for entire life. I mean, till now.
Correct.
So when I lost my mother, I felt that I think this is it, because I had given her everything that I could, as a child and as a mother too. Like I kind of in her last 3 years, I became her mother because she had to be taken care of like that, because she was bedridden for 3 years, and I I think I just gave so much of me there that I could understand how to be a parent without being a parent.
Right.
So I could use that in Raj Jawan Hai.
Yes, of course.
At the same time, losing a parent was such a void that
Can
that
never be
cannot
filled.
be replaced or filled. and I could feel that pain in my abdomen right here when I was doing Zindaginaama. The loss,
of course.
and because Zindaginaama is also about a lot of things. It's
Of
also
course.
about trauma. It's about fear. For Vaidehi's part, it is more about fear.
Correct.
And then for Shweta's part, it is more about the trauma that gets carried forward through
PTSD
generations.
part.
Yeah. So that happened. And similarly in City of Dreams, I mean, I had never felt what a panic attack and an anxiety feels till I lost my mother. I didn't know how that feels.
Of
I mean,
course.
that were only things that you hear or you see or you read about. But I know that there was a time when I had to go out and speak to a counselor, ask for help, because caregiving was exhausting me
Of course.
to a level where I was getting so anxious and I was not paying attention to my mental health. And that anxiety is what the feeling of how that feels is something that I had experienced,
Right.
which again I could use in City of Dreams when Purnima Gaikwad gets a panic attack.
Absolutely.
So I think these are the instant. I always feel that the actors are very observant all the time.
Yep.
You know, and you absorb everything that's around you. You at least try to keep everything at the back of your mind, and not always with an intention of हाँ मुझे ये ना अगले role में use करना है. It's not that.
Subconsciously.
But it leaves some mark at the back of your mind and it stays with you. And I think our brains are functioned that way, that the moment you are exposed to that emotion, you tap into that memory and you know that I exactly know how it feels.
How it feels.
So with Raat Jawan Hai, I would say that I am not Suman, but I know where she comes from, because my mother was like that.
Correct.
My mother was somebody who, even if she had any problem in my family, she never stood up for herself. She never said that aloud. And I know that there are so many women who are like that.
Absolutely.
I get so many messages in my DM that we find Radhika, like Anjali's character, very aspirational. But who we relate to is Suman.
100%.
We are like you. We can't say, even if I want to, I can't say things. I feel like जाने दे, मेरे एक के बोलने से क्या होगा, इससे अच्छा let them continue. At least they'll be happy.
Correct.
I think women in our society are conditioned that way.
Absolutely.
And that's so sad, because I've also seen my mother give up on her dreams, give up on so many things. But because I was her best friend, she used to come and talk to me. And she used to tell me. So when Raat Jawan Hai happened, I felt that one friendship that I miss now is what I was trying to, seek that friendship in these friends, where I found Avinash and Radhika and Suman. And yeah, I think that just made me happy. I was like, काश मेरी जिंदगी भी ऐसी होती यार. I've had only two best friends all my life, my mother and my husband. So you learn. I think life teaches you a lot, and the life that happens to you also teaches, leaves some mark somewhere, and then you end up end up using it in one of your characters, or you don't. I mean, sometimes you just be.
Correct.
Yeah.
Absolutely, man. Shout out to all the moms out there.
Oh,
I think
yes.
they need all the shout outs in the world possible. This is the most relatable thing ever. Like for me, out there, everyone. Moms are way too selfless. And while it's a good thing otherwise, but it's not a good thing today.
I would just like to honestly compare like how moms are selfless. At the same time, if you have a character in this patriarchal society, somebody like Tara in Visfot, a mother who takes a call for her happiness,
and she's going to be slammed for it.
You get slammed for it.
It's ingrained patriarchy at its best.
Yeah, and I don't want to take like a big feminist stand here, but I think this is such a basic equality that you expect.
Absolutely.
And it's not about gender. It is about a human looking for their personal happiness. And everyone deserves to be happy. If I'm not happy, and I'm not encouraging divorces here, or I'm not encouraging infidelity here. I'm just saying that everyone who's not happy needs to go out and speak.
Absolutely.
You know, for Suman, somebody like Suman and Raat Jawan Hai, I think her friends is her safe space. You find that safe space, whether with a counselor, with your husband, with your mother, with your friends, whoever, but you have to find
To
that
find a
space and
safe
have to
space.
open up,
Absolutely.
especially women. We have to.
Please, genuinely, because even though, belonging to the genders usually, and I've been one of those people who seems like it, but ingrained patriarchy is very real in the way that, you just are. I mean, to an extent, you understand, why where it's coming from, but it's never justified. Just never justified.
Don't even know कि
Yeah,
ये हो
हो
रहा है
रहा है.
हमसे.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, we can talk about the smallest of things that तुम रहने दो तुम्हारी बहन करेगी.
A
Something
lot.
as simple as that.
A
Like
lot.
it literally stems from that.
Yeah.
And it takes a bigger tree figure, but
Yeah.
okay, we can go on with that. But yeah, I mean, just let's get lighter. Let's have a little
Yeah, this
bit
was
of
a little
fun.
heavy, no?
Yeah, but I think
You started my mother's topic will always be heavy. Thank God I didn't cry.
no, absolutely. But I love to. That's why I say I love to have conversations, not to tap into that thing, but always love to have conversations which are so much more than work. Because even not just the fans and people love it, but I think this always strikes a chord
Right.
in the best way possible.
Right.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you
Yeah.
so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for having
Absolute
me.
pleasure.